You're listening to the Traffic and Conversion Show. I'm your host, Michelle Fernandez, and today I am sharing the heart of successful marketing. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. Today we are talking about the heart of successful marketing, and that is building trust and building meaningful relationships with your audience, which is the key to lifetime value of that customer. Now, building trust is a fundamental aspect of any successful business, and it's even more critical in today's digital age. Consumers are bombarded with information and so many choices, and trust really is the currency that can set your brand apart. So, to kick things off, let's talk about why trust is so important, right? Well, trust is the foundation of any lasting relationships, whether personal or professional. So, in the business world, trust is what turns a one time buyer into this lifelong customer, right? Where there's like raving fans all over the place, your brand advocates. There are just a few people that I myself continue to follow that I started following 7, 8 years ago. And I continue to buy from since I actually started in the business. And I'm sure the same runs true for you. So, why is trust so crucial? And it might be more than you think. So, the first is that it lowers resistance. So, when people trust your brand, they're more willing to engage with your content, click on your ads, and make purchases. So, trust really lowers the barriers of entry. So, trust is a powerful force that can significantly reduce resistance and hesitation in this consumer behavior. So, when individuals have confidence in your brand, they become more open to engaging with your content, like actively clicking on all your stuff, including your ads. Even if they bought, like, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm like, why did you click on that? You're already my customer, right? And they're like, because we want to hear more about what you're doing and all that good stuff. So they also feel more comfortable with making purchases without the usual skepticism. So, for instance, consider, let's say, skincare. Okay. So, let's say there's a skincare brand that consistently delivers like these high quality products and really educates how to use them, right? Your skincare routines or something like that, right? All this informative content. Customers who trust this brand are more likely to explore new product releases, click on their ads showing innovation solutions, right? Or maybe other products that they have in the line. And then they're ready to make purchases because they believe in the brand's commitment to help their skin to get those results that they want. Trust is the context that acts as a bridge that lowers the barriers of entry into a deeper, more loyal customer relationship. Okay, let's talk about word of mouth. So, trusted brands are more likely to be recommended by customers to their families and friends, which leads to more of this organic growth. Okay. So, word of mouth is the ultimate testament to a brand's trustworthiness. When customers trust a brand, they not only become loyal patrons, but also enthusiastic advocates who eagerly recommend it to their friends and family. Like, I'm talking even like, share them on social, right? Tag them, like shout them from the rooftops. This organic referral process is really a testament to the brand's quality and reliability. So, for instance, think about, let's say, a local restaurant that's known for like its exceptional food and outstanding service, right? Satisfied customers trusting in the consistent quality of the dining experience excitedly share their positive experiences with their social circles. These recommendations are driven by trust and they lead to new customers visiting that restaurant, right? Thus, word of mouth becomes this powerful growth engine for trusted brands, showcasing how trust can amplify a brand's reach and their impact. Then let's talk about with the trust. like repeat business. So trust really keeps customers coming back for more. They're not just one-time buyers. They become these loyal patrons. So trust is the cornerstone of building these long-lasting customer relationships and repeat business. And that's the one thing that I really love because anytime, especially if you're putting your hard-earned dollars out, it's like everybody's always like, what's my cost per lead, right? However, if you build the trust and at this level and you get these repeat businesses, think about how much more your return on ad spend or your return on any investment will just keep growing over time. Because when customers trust a brand, they don't just make those one-time purchases. They become these loyal people who come back and buy from you again and again and again. So let's just take a tech company that we all know and probably have in our purses or our pockets, or for me, I have it on my, my desk right now, that we know for its reliable and innovative products, right? So how many times do we trust them so much that not only do we make an initial purchase, but we stand in line for hours and hours when they have upgrades or new accessories or future product releases? Do we stand outside waiting in line to be one of the first ones to get them, right? So trust creates a sense of reliability, making customers feel confident that their investments in the brand will consistently meet their needs, resulting in ongoing loyalty and repeat business. Also, we're talking risk mitigation. Trust can also act as a safety net when things go wrong because none of us are perfect. Technology does what it does, right? So, what happens is customers are more forgiving if they trust your intentions and your commitment to resolving issues. So, trust serves as a valuable safety net for businesses during challenging times. So, when customers have a deep trust in the brand, they're more forgiving when unexpected issues arise. So, let's just take an e-com company that occasionally faces shipping delays, right? Obviously, due to unforeseen circumstances. So, customers who trust a brand's commitment to delivering quality products and providing this excellent customer service are usually more understanding of these occasional hiccups, right? They believe in the brand's good intentions and are confident that any issues will be promptly addressed, right? So, trust in its context acts as this buffer, allowing businesses to navigate challenges while maintaining customer loyalty and their reputation. So, now that we've established why trust is essential, let's talk about how to build it through meaningful relationships with your audience. So, authenticity has been a word, it was a buzzword several years ago, and it just kind of stuck with us. It's like we all just like, it's almost like you're brushing your teeth. Like we all should have it. And if you don't come off authentic, then we're just not following you, right? So authenticity is key. So be genuine in your interactions with your audience, share your brand story, your values, your missions. And when you're real, people are most likely to connect with you. Okay. So I know a lot of people feel like, well, what is really being authentic? My life is boring, right? There's so much to you. And that's why people are drawn to you and love you. So, authenticity is the potent tool for building trust in the digital age. Being genuine with your interactions with your audience by sharing, again, your stories, values. I mean, think about like how we go on in a day by day basis and how you make this connection. Because when you connect with another person, that's when you start to build the relationship. So, if I were to put you in a room with 20 people, you would naturally be drawn to different people, specific people, I should say, right? Now, I'm not saying you're not going to like all 20 people because you will. However, there's certain people that just connect at a different level. And then that's when you see the relationships build so strong because they have this certain connection based on their history, their background, what they have in common. Do they have kids the same age? Like those types of things. Okay. So that's where I want you to be looking at it. So let's just say I talked about this on one of the other episodes about sustainability. So let's say you have a fashion brand that it has like sustainability products, right? And they're transparently, they share Its commitment to ethical sourcing and eco-friendly practices, which resonates with environmentally, yes, conscious consumers. So when consumers see that the brand's authentic dedication to its mission, they're more likely to connect emotionally, trust its products, and become these loyal advocates, right? Because that's what is important to them, and that's how they connect and then build upon that. Okay. So, authenticity in your brand's messaging and actions establishes a genuine human connection that can lead to these lasting customer relationships. And then you have consistency. This is something that I personally struggle with. And it's on my list next year to create new habits so I can become more consistent. When it comes to your trust, the trust factor, consistency in your messaging, branding, and consumer experience is crucial. It helps create this reliable image in their minds of your audience, right? And it's really the building block in establishing trust with your audience. So when your messaging and your branding and this customer experience are consistent, you create this reliable image that resonates with your audience. Okay. So let's take, for example, another well known place that probably most of us go to, even if we don't drink coffee. They consistently deliver the same quality coffee, a friendly service, a cozy atmosphere in every location, right? It's customers know what to expect no matter where they go, right? No matter if they're traveling, where in the United States or beyond, right? No matter where they go, this consistently it builds the trust with the brand. Okay. So whether it's the same taste of your favorite coffee, or maybe it's just the familiarity of their logo, this consistency ensures that your audience can rely on your brand to consistently meet their expectations. Again, reinforcing that trust in the business. And then be transparent about your products or services. If you make a mistake, own up to it and fix it, right? It's like we're all human. We all make mistakes. I think sometimes we all try to be like just so perfect, and we just think like, oh, we have to be just so. Like, I remember back in the day, it was like the big thing was like typos on your emails. It's like, okay, we can do that even if we use spell check. It's okay. But then there's those people that have to point it out and then criticize you for doing it. There's a difference in pointing out and saying, hey, by the way, I don't know if you noticed there's a typo on here, right? That's one thing. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Let me go fix it. Versus, didn't you go to high school type of thing, right? So transparency builds this credibility. It's a vital element in building the credibility and trust with your audience. So when you openly share information about your product, services, including features, pricing, limitations, you're establishing an environment of honesty and authenticity. So let's just say a software company that acknowledges a bug in its latest release and promptly provides like a fix to it, right? This demonstrates like, hey, we're not trying to hide something. We know it's here and we're working on it, right? Customers appreciate this straightforward approach and are more likely to trust the company, knowing that they can rely on it to address the issues honestly and effectively, right? Because they're saying, we have a plan to do this. So transparency not only builds credibility, but it also fosters a sense of trust that can endure even when challenges arise. Now, we always talk about customer-centric approach, right? We want to put the customers at the center of everything that you do. So listen to their feedback, address their concerns, and make them feel valued. This approach is really the cornerstone of trust building in your business. When customer feels like they are truly at the heart of the operation, it's like there's a person behind those dollars. Like we're not just after the revenue. I remember this was several years ago. A friend of mine bought something for someone because she felt like, oh, I had this, like, yeah, we're friends and this and that. And, they were actively engaging. And she really felt like she was building a relationship with this woman. And as soon as she made the purchase, the woman ghosted her. Right. So then she felt like, wait a minute, were we friends or was she just trying to get my money? Like, am I important or was the money that I paid more important? And clearly in that situation, she was not important as she thought, right? So, what you want to do is you want to strengthen the bond between them and your brand, right? You want to show that they are, okay? So, if a tech company actively listens to their customer feedback and promptly incorporates user suggestions into their software updates, then it makes the customers feel heard and valued. So, this customer centric approach not only involves the product, but it also nurtures trust as consumers appreciates the brand's dedication to meeting their needs and their preferences, really making them feel valued, and they're prioritizing their satisfaction. That is definitely a surefire way to build trust and lasting relationships. And another example on this is when we're talking to that lasting, like increasing that lifetime customer value. I was in a coaching program where it's, between 20 and 30 a year, depending on when you came in, and that's 30,000. A woman was not going to renew for the next year. So she actually sat down with the coach and she had a conversation just about little things. And the coach listened to her concerns and made some changes based on the conversation. And when the woman, and what happened was the woman was like, oh, she listened to me. So she ended up renewing for another year. So if the coach had not listened to her and made certain changes, she would have lost that $20,000, $30,000. That's a lot of money to lose. So think about that times how many other members are in that program that if they were heard and if changes were made or at least addressed, they would know. And on that point, I would say two things. If you're in that situation, you owe it to yourself to speak up and say something, because no changes are ever going to be made if you don't address it, right? A lot of people just complain. And then I'm like, you're not even giving the person to address it. They may not even know that you have these concerns, right? And the second thing is, if you are in the other situation where you're a coach and you have members or you have your customers, have an open door policy, right? Maybe do a survey and ask, like, what feedback do you have? What changes would you suggest that we make? Stuff like that, where then it makes you feel more approachable, or that you're open to being heard, and that how important they are to you and how you are a customer centric business. Make sense? Okay. So how can you put these principles into action? So let's explore some strategies. So first up is social proof. Showcase positive reviews, testimonials, case studies, all good things, because people tend to trust the experiences of others. And to that note, on your sales pages, landing pages, checkout, wherever you have these, make sure that you have pictures of the actual people. Because a lot of times, and I know this is difficult for some businesses because the clients maybe want to stay anonymous. So just be sure that it looks like a real person and you're not just making this stuff up, okay? So social proof is a powerful tool in establishing the trust in your business. By showcasing these real life case studies, if you will, you're leveraging the experiences of others to build your credibility. So it's not just you saying, hey, I'm the best, come to me, right? These other people are speaking for you. So by building the trust from the get-go, now you're able to do this, okay? So the goal for this is you want to get potential buyers feeling confident in their purchase decisions. So when people see that others have had these positive experiences, right? They've had good results with their thing, that your phone didn't break or whatever it is that you are selling, they're more inclined to trust your brand and follow suit. Social proof serves as a compelling endorsement, showing that your products or services have satisfied owners, making it more likely for new customers to trust in whatever it is that you have to offer. Now, email marketing. So nurture your email list with relevant, personalized content. So email is obviously a powerful tool for building these ongoing relationships. So if you want to think about how are you going to maintain the trust, what comes back to that personalized content, right? It's relevant, it's personalized to what they are what problem do they want solved? And then through that, you nurture ongoing relationships. So just like we talked about sharing the stories about yourself. Maybe it's experiences that you have had and how you got through them. So now they're creating this a better connection, a stronger bond to building the relationship, because it's not like you're way up here and I'm down here. It's more like, okay, you've been there and I can see that you got through it on the other side. And I'm so looking forward to getting on that other side as well. Think about any online fitness platform, right? Maybe it's like sending tailored workout plans, nutrition tips, or success stories to subscribers to keep them motivated and going. This personalized approach not only keeps the audience engaged, but also showcases the brand's commitment to the consumer's fitness goals. Okay. Email marketing allows you to stay connected with your audience, providing value and strengthening trust over time. It's a powerful means to foster these lasting relationships and definitely keeps your brand top of mind. Then, community building. Foster a sense of community around your brand. So, online forums, groups like Facebook groups, and other community platforms are like excellent for this. Okay. This really is a great strategy for the trust building around your brand. Creating a sense of belonging and connection among your customers can really be achieved through these platforms, right? These communities. So consider a makeup brand that hosts a Facebook group where customers get to share beauty tips, right? Discuss product experiences and maybe connect with like-minded individuals. Like, hey, I just got this eyeshadow palette. Here's like what I did with it, right? Because I don't know about you, my daughter loves makeup. And I think she has pretty much almost every eye palette that they probably make. And when she looks at it, she like can picture how she's going to do her makeup, you know? And I just look at all the colors and I'm like, where do I begin? I love all the colors and they look so pretty, but how do I know which matches? How do I know what to put together and where and all these kinds of things? So think about people from both ends where she can share what she's doing, maybe even get some other tips from somebody else. And for people like me, I could just get it all, right? So this community not only strengthens the brand consumer relationship, but really encourages trust. And as customers feel a part of a larger group, more supportive network, and community really builds this fostering kind of like a space where customers can engage with your brand and each other, right? Ultimately, really solidifying this trust and loyalty. Then you have customer support as part of what you can put in action. So when it comes to customer support, you want to respond to inquiries or your tickets very promptly. Really go that extra mile to help customers. Communication is key, right? So even if you have whatever your SOP is, and you're not going to get to it for 24 hours, at least get back to them so they know, hey, we got your report. The team is behind it. We're working on it and we will get back time. And if something is taking longer, then get back to them and be like, hey, I know we said this, we've come across this and we are working on it, right? You want to you want the customer to know that you have not forgotten about them. Okay. So when you respond promptly and go that extra mile to assist your customers, you're demonstrating your commitment to their satisfaction, AKA customer centric, right? So let's just say like a retail store provides 24/7 customer support with like knowledgeable representatives. And notice how I said knowledgeable representatives who quickly resolve the issues, right? And maybe even personalize product recommendations like, oh, great, I saw you got that pink shirt. Have you seen this black sweater that would look really cool with it, right? Just like something else just to offer out there. So this level of care not only addresses your customer needs, but it also creates a strong sense of the trust and the brand's dedication to their well-being. So exceptional customer support goes beyond solving problems. It reinforces the idea that your customers are valued and can rely on your brand when they need assistance, fostering trust and loyalty. Now, it is important to measure the impact of your efforts in building trust, and it's really like correlation with that lifetime customer value. So some key metrics to track, which you knew I had to throw metrics in here. One is your customer lifetime value. So I do talk about this often. So if this is the first time you're hearing it, you should definitely be looking to track this. So this tells you how much revenue you can expect to earn from a single consumer throughout their entire relationship with your brand. Now, the reason I love this is because it reveals the total revenue that you can anticipate from a single customer through their entire association. So for instance, let's just say you have some sort of subscription based service, right? You can estimate the revenue generated from a customer who signs up for that service and then stays subscribed for several months or several years, okay? And then you can factor in, okay, what is that monthly fee? What are any upsells that come in? And then potential referrals. There's so many things that you can be looking at with this customers and the customer lifetime value, as well as when you're building this trust and this relationship, okay? So businesses can really make informed decisions about customer acquisition costs and tailor their marketing efforts to maximize their long-term customer relationship, ultimately boosting profitability and sustainability. Now, the next metric to track is your net promoter score. So this is sometimes referred to the NPS, and this measures customer loyalty and willingness to recommend your brand to others. So this is a valuable metric that gauges the customer loyalty, which is what you're looking to build, and their inclination to advocate for your brand. So it's calculated by asking customers a simple question. So it could be like, on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend our brand to a friend or colleague, right? And then those who respond to 9 or 10 are considered, let's say, promoters, while maybe those with lower scores, like maybe like a 7 to 8, are passives. And then maybe 0 to 6 are like detractors, right? So you can end up kind of positioning what that metric looks like and how you want to then engage with them based on their level of recommendation. Okay. This is where you start going into, okay, well, if they're likely to recommend, let me get them into my referral program or my affiliate program for them to make some extra money and sell the product to other people. Okay. So let's just take, let me give you an example. So let's say a software company, they survey their users and they use this 0 to 10, right? So if their product, if they say 9 or 10, this indicates this strong customer loyalty and the potential for organic growth through word of mouth referrals. Okay. So they might just do something like that just to kind of say, hey, would you do it? And it's not that people won't always refer. It's they need to be reminded, right? Unfortunately, sometimes they will if the subject comes up. However, if you give them an incentive behind it, then they will do it. Okay. Then you want your customer satisfaction. So a customer satisfaction is a metric that gauges how satisfied your customers are with the actual products or service. So this metric is used to assess how content your customers are with the products or services that you provide. And again, it involves asking a question on a satisfaction on a scale from 1 to 10, and you have to clearly define 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, or vice versa. Okay, you always want to make that very clear, like satisfied or unsatisfied. Okay, because some people might think, oh, I think you're number 1. And in your mind, you're like, well, 1's the lowest. I want to be a 10, right? So make that very clear and how you're having them rate. So definitely have some surveys in your onboarding somehow, in your I would also have it throughout. Like, let's say you have a course, I would throw these surveys in somehow. Coaching program, I would be throwing them in somehow when you feel like they've gone through certain milestones or through certain stages of their process, because it's also good for them to know that you're here to support them, and it's also really good for you to gather this data for you to improve what is going on inside the courses, because you might have never even thought that people would be struggling with this. And now if you can add that back into module 2, lesson whatever, or maybe clear up something in that, then it will make the customers have better results, take more action, whatever that might be, and be more satisfied. All right. So building trust and fostering meaningful relationships with your audience is not just a marketing strategy. It's really, really the cornerstone of long-term success because trust leads to customer loyalty, word of mouth, and ultimately higher customer lifetime value. Remember to just stay authentic. You be you, boo boo, right? Stay consistent and really remember that the customer is the center of everything. So keep that customer centric in your marketing approach. And don't forget to measure your progress to continually refine your strategies. All right, until next time, let's grow your business together.